Salutations, second graders, and welcome to Math Lesson 18 of our mobile learning platform. Today we are looking at pages 285, 286, and at the top right it says 10.5, compare fractions. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that now. Get it out? Here we are, friends. Okay, so we're doing comparing fractions. Let's go ahead and take a look at our paper. We did some equivalent fractions yesterday. Today we're going to look at how we figure out which fraction is larger and which fraction is smaller when we compare fractions. So we're going to be using our greater than, less than signs. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and read at the top of the page. Miss Watkins' class earned a pizza party for learning Bible verses. Their 2 pizzas were the same size. 5/8 of the sausage slices and 1/4 of the pepperoni slices were left uneaten. Were more sausage slices left or more pepperoni? Well, they drew us a picture, and if we look at the picture, we have a total of 5/8 left on this one and only 1/4 left here. Which one has more pieces left? Well, obviously this one, right? This one here, remember, it always points to the smallest to the least, and it eats up the biggest. And that's not a good way to look at it because it's called greater than, less than, or equal to, and the way we read it is that 5/8 is greater than 1/4, okay? So to compare fractions with the same denominator, look at the numerators. So if they have the same denominator, the same number on the bottom of the fraction bar, then all we have to do is look at the numerators. The larger the numerator, the larger the fraction. So if we have 2/6 and 3/6 and we are comparing them, then 3/6 is greater than, right? So we would read this one. We would read this right here as 2/6 is less than, because it points at the smaller number, less than 3/6. Okay? Same thing, friends. I have the same denominator on both of these fractions. So I'm looking at 3/6 is less than 5/6. So far, so good? Okay, so to compare fractions with the same numerator but different denominators, we have to remember that the larger the denominator, the smaller the pieces. Remember when we did our piece of paper? I have mine here. Remember when we did our piece of paper and I started with a half? And when I folded it and made 4 pieces, my piece got smaller. Okay, that's what it's telling you. That the larger the denominator, the smaller the parts, okay? So when I take something that is a whole and I cut it into 2 pieces, 2 becomes my denominator, and I'm talking about 1 out of 2, or half, right? Here I'm cutting it into 3 parts, which gives us thirds. This one we're cutting into 4 parts, gives us fourths or quarters. Here we're cutting into 5 parts, that gives us fifths. And here we're cutting into 6 parts, which gives us sixths. Now remember, guys, it's like ordinal numbers. So it's fifth, sixth, right? You have to make sure it has that TH sound at the end. Now, we're going to circle the larger fractions, and they were nice enough to give us visual clues. So, which one is larger? Is it 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3? We're going to circle the one that's bigger. Which one do you think I should circle, Bradley? 2/3. Good job. All right. Now I have 7/8 and 2/8. Which one would you say is bigger, Sonia? 7/8. Very good. 3/5 and 1/2. Okay, stop. Look, I have a different denominator, but if my original thing is the same size, then I'm looking for which one has the larger fraction, the larger amount. Very good. 3/5 is correct. Okay, turn your paper over. Now, my friends, we're going to compare, and we are going to write greater than, less than, or equal to in the circle, in the bubble. Okay, so I have 2/6 and 4/6. Now we said if it has the same denominator, then we look at the top number to tell which one is greater. So what one is greater here, Jax? 4/6. Very good. Looking here, I have 1/3 and 2/6. Which one is greater? Tina. They're equal to, aren't they? Very good job. Okay, then we have 5/7 and 1/2. Just half, right? Which one is greater? Bradley. 5/7 is greater. Very good. Sorry, friends, we should have gone up here next. So let's look up here. Okay, I have 3/8 and 1/4. Which one would I choose for greater, Giovanni? 3/8 is greater than 1/4. Good job. Then we have 2/3 and 7/9. Which one is greater, Trinity? 7/9. Very good. And finally, friends, we're looking at 5/10 and 3/12. Which one is greater? 5/10. Excellent work. Now it's your turn. We get to shade the models to show each fraction, and then we have to write greater than, less than, or equal to. So 1/8. Here's 1/8, color it in. 1/10. Which one is greater? Which one is bigger? Adeline. Yes, the piece on 1/8 is bigger, right? Okay, so we're gonna have it go this way because that is the greater than symbol. Okay, so 1/8 is greater than 1/10. Then we have 2/4 and 3/8. Let's color them in. 2/4. 3/8. Which one, friends, is greater? 2/4. Very good. Then we have 4/6. And 1/3. Which one is greater, Jacob? Yes, 4/6. 3/7 and 3/6. Which one is greater? 3/6. Okay, so it's gonna always gobble up the one that's greater, but we have to remember that the signs have a way that they have to go in order to read greater than, less than, or equal to. So when it opens up this way, it's read as greater than. When it opens up that way, it's less than. And when it's an equal sign, it's equal to. So friends, you're doing a fantastic job. Now I want you to use your pencil to lightly shade the fraction strips to help you compare the fractions. So we need to look at 1/3 and 4/6. Well, here I have 1/3 should be lightly shaded here. And 4/6, let's see, we'll go here. You see how I did that? So which one is greater? Okay, so 1/3 is less than 4/6. And then I have 1/4 and 2/6. Uh-oh, we're gonna have to use that one we just used. So let's change our color. 2/6. Which one is greater? Good, so 1/4 is less than 2/6, right? Are we doing well so far, second graders? Okay, if you need help, it's okay. You can ask me for help. We're gonna have tutoring this week, not a big deal. If we were in the classroom, I would have some things for you to play with, but because we're at home, I don't have those for you. So let's go ahead and continue together. We're gonna look at 5/8 and 2/5. Okay, so we're gonna look for 5/8. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, because there's 8 total, but we only are talking about these 5 of them. And then 2/5. So which one, friends? 5/8 is greater than 2/5. Excellent. Let's look for 2/7. So here's the one that's in sevenths. We're talking about 2 out of 7, or 2/7, and 3/4. Which one, friends, is, which way should my sign go, Valentina? 2/7 and 3/4. 2/7 is less than 3/4. Okay, then we have 5/6 and 4/8. 5/6 and 4/8. Okay, so is 5/6 greater than, less than, or equal to 4/8, second graders? Yes, greater than. And then 2/4 and 3/6. So I have 2/4. Let's change colors. I'm going to go purple this time. 2/4 and 3/6. Okay, and they are equal to. Alrighty, friends, that's it. This is comparing fractions. If you're still having a little trouble with it, that's okay. We can talk about it when we meet together. And I will see you soon for more mobile learning. Bye, second graders.